Okay, welcome to this video on creating pie charts. You should know that a pie chart is a circular chart. Okay, before we start, you see them all over the news, in magazines, in papers. Right, they're quite a nice way of illustrating how a data set is broken down. So we got an example here. Okay, a survey was undertaken to judge the coolness of Mr. Thompson. Oh dear, responses are below. Well, they're by here. Okay, so this table shows the results of the survey. All right. Remember what this is saying? It's saying that, for example, one person said I was very uncool. Yeah, they're probably right. 3 people said I was uncool. 11 people said I was averagely cool. 2 said I was cool. And 3 people who were obviously wrong said I was super cool. And I want to make a pie chart to show this information. All right. And obviously, a pie chart, when you draw it, you need to know how big each section in the pie chart is going to be. So you need to know how big the angle for each sector is going to be. So I'm going to add a column to the table called angle. And then if you think about it, I think the best thing you would do, first of all, as with any table like this, is to find the total frequency. Add up all the frequencies. Okay, so if you do 1, add 3, add 11, add 2, add 3, all right, to find the total frequency, then obviously 1, 4, 15, 17, there's 20 people in this survey altogether. Remember, okay, every person's vote counts equally. So if you think about a pie chart, which is a circle, in an entire circle, there are 360 degrees, and you need to split this fairly between the 20 people, because every person's vote needs to count for the same amount of the circle. So to do that, obviously, you just divide. All right, if you do 360 divided by 20, that gives you 18 degrees. So every vote, okay, is worth 18 degrees in this pie chart. So if in this one here, this is one vote. So one vote will be one lot of 18 degrees, which is 18 degrees. In this next row, 3 votes will be 3 lots of 18, which is 54 degrees. This one, 11 votes, well, 11 times 18 is 198. 2 lots of 18 is 36. And lastly, 3 more lots of 18 gives you 54 degrees. And always worth checking if you find the sum of these angles. I know this works. I've done it about 8 many times before. This does give you 360 degrees, a whole circle. If it didn't, then start panicking. Okay. Now we've got our table completely with our angles. All right. I'm going to pause. You won't see the pause. I'm going to pause 2 seconds, get my camera ready. Okay. And then we'll draw the pie chart very shortly. Okay, welcome back. Despite the pause, I didn't get my sheet ready. I got my camera ready, but now I've got my pie chart sheet, okay? I've got lots of circles here in case I make a mistake. All right, so just straighten things up and get rid of this thing here. Now, we'll work on this circle here. So we think back now to the first section, the very uncool section. That's 18 degrees big. Okay, so best thing you can do here, I'll use a pencil. Hopefully the pencil will show up. I tend to start my pie charts from a vertical line. All right, so I tend to go from the center of the pie chart. Does this show up okay? Yeah, it does. So that's my starting vertical line. And the first angle was 18 degrees. Okay, so maybe put your protractor not like this, because your 0 is going from the vertical line. So here. And again, I think it's obvious you're using the outside scale, because there's my starting 0. So I'll go around to 18 degrees, which is about here. Put a small mark, and then obviously the temptation is to go right to this mark, but that's going to look terrible. Okay, so go in line with the mark, but stop at the edge of the pie chart. Okay, and that's the first section done, and that was called very uncool. Okay, now I'm not sure I can fit that in there, but this one here, okay, is very uncool. That's the first section. Next section is uncool, which is 54 degrees. So again, you need to turn the pie chart this way or just keep it like this. But either way, remember, you need to start from this line you've just drawn. So I tend to rotate the pie chart to make it vertical again. And then I put it here. And I think double check, 54 degrees, is it? Yeah, 54 degrees. So here we go. Use the outside scale. 54 degrees is here. And again, try and stop at the edge of the pie chart. It doesn't matter too much, but it just makes the whole thing look a bit better. Here we go. Make sure it's the best it can be. Right, there you go. And this label should fit in the sector, shouldn't it? Uncool. Yeah, I am uncool. Fair play. Uncool. Next section now. This could pose a problem. See, this averagely cool section is 190 degrees big. And that's too big for a protractor. Okay. My protractor only measures up to 180 degrees. So, but the trick here, if you get a big angle like this, a reflex angle you can't draw, just leave it till the end and it'll actually draw itself. All right, so I'm going to skip the third row and go on to the cool row, which is 36 degrees. Okay, so the cool row is 36 degrees. So again, I probably will rotate my pie chart, I think, to make it nice and centered, nice and straight. 36 degrees is here. And again, nice line here. And this one was cool. Next one. Oh, well, super cool. 54 degrees. Okay. So here I go. 54 again. Well, I'm going to overlap this pie chart here, okay, but no biggie. 54 is about here. So put a very thin mark there. All right, and I'm going to go here. And that was super cool. And all this remaining part of the pie chart, remember this will be the one we didn't draw, the reflex angle, which was averagely cool. All right, so this one here, averagely cool. And if you want, maybe we could check that it is roughly correct, because obviously if I went down to here with a very faint line, this half of the pie chart is 180 degrees. So if this extra bit is about 18, we should have done a pretty good job actually. Yeah, if I extended the line, I'd be pretty close to getting the extra 18 degrees. So I know I'm good. All right, so remember this dashed line shouldn't be here, okay? So normally I would erase this. Perhaps I can find my rubber here. Yeah, I get rid of this. This line shouldn't be here. That was just my check line. There you go, and that's the pie chart. One finishing touch with this pie chart is it's always a good idea to tell people how many people were actually in the survey. Otherwise, it's hard to read this pie chart and make sense of it. But there were 20 people in my survey. All right, and so the way to phrase that is that my sample size is 20. So at least now when someone looks at this pie chart, they can see, for example, oh look, this section here is over half the pie chart. So over 10 people said that I was averagely cool, for example. So the sample size really helps with the pie chart interpretation. Okay, and that's the first one done. I was time looking. I was going to pause here 2 seconds. Okay, welcome back then to the middle of this video. This one's complicated. Right, this one, we may not have time to draw the pie chart, but we can definitely make the table, okay, based on this second example. So this time we're asking people how cool Mr. Temby is, all right? And the responses are below. Here we go. Now, and obviously, yeah, Mr. Temby's cooler than me, so I'm unsurprised there that this table is a bit more favorable. So maybe you should pause it here, okay, if you want. Have a go. Try and make the angles. This one will probably be a calculator allowed question on the exam. Okay, so Maybe use a calculator. Come back when you're ready. Okay, welcome back. So you should know that the first thing to do with this would be to add up all the frequencies to find the total frequency. And I'll just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 240, but I don't want to make a mistake here. Yes, this one, okay, is a much bigger survey, 240 people. And then to find the angle for each sector, take the whole circle and share it fairly between every person's vote. And this is 1.5. So you might get the occasional decimal on a calculator question. So every vote is 1.5 degrees. And then just multiply everything by 1.5, right? Because every vote is 1.5 degrees. So 8 lots of 1.5 will give you 12 degrees. 49 lots of 1.5. Obviously, this will be a bit more complicated to draw. All right, but it is 73.5 degrees. All right, I probably would draw 74 degrees for this one because it'd be difficult to draw half a degree on your protractor. 9 times 1.5 is 13.5 degrees. 52 times 1.5, I'm hoping is 78. And 122 times 1.5, 193, but let me double check in case I get it wrong. 183 even. Oh, dear me, 183, sorry. Yeah, at 61, sorry. Right, should we find the sum of these to make sure we're okay? 73.5, 78, 13.5, and 183. Yep, these sum to 360 degrees, so we're good to go. And maybe I can just leave the pie chart to you to draw, is it? All right. Again, we'll probably call this one about 74-ish, and this one you might have to draw 14, as long as you're pretty close. And again, this one here, luckily for us, it's at the end of the table, so it'll draw itself. But if it wasn't at the end of the table, remember, just leave a reflex angle, and it will draw itself. Okay, so that's how you construct a pie chart. Pretty easy, really. The key is to find the total frequency, split the whole circle between this total frequency, and then multiply by that to get your angles. Then as long as you can draw angles, which is really, really easy, then you're good to go. Just remember, at the bottom of a pie chart, it's always a good idea to write down your sample size. People can make sense of the pie chart. All right, so for this one, the sample size would be 240 people. Okay, and that's it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.